Now, here are some key points on goals, and please remember these. The first key point is that your ability to set goals and to make plans for their accomplishment is the master skill of success. The development of this skill requires continual practice and serious personal work, something that only the top 5% will discipline themselves to do. You see, setting goals is hard. Setting goals requires delaying gratification. Setting goals means taking some time aside and sitting down and really thinking through what it is you want in each area of your life. And because this is difficult, most people won't do it. Number 2, your goals must be congruent with your basic values. Your self-esteem comes from engaging in activities and working toward goals that are consistent with what you believe to be good and right and important. Take some time to think through what you believe in, and then structure your goals in harmony with your innermost convictions. What are your basic values in life? What would you live for? What would you fight for? What would you sacrifice for? What would you die for? What are the most important things to you in life? And are your goals, are your daily activities congruent with those values? One of the things that I've found is that if you're in a job that is right for you, that you will feel good about it. And if you're in a job that's wrong for you, you will feel uncomfortable about it and demotivated. Now, one of the things that I found when I was younger is that sometimes I'd be in a job that I hated, and yet everybody around me thought it was a great job. And the reason for that, as I learned, is that for them and their values, it was the ideal job. But for me, and in many cases for you and your values, it was the wrong job. And we'll talk about this a little bit later. But if you are not happy or content in your job, if you're not excited or fulfilled in your job, then you should get out of it, and you should get out of it quickly, because it is the surest way to fail in life is to stay at a job that you're not right for, especially a job that is incongruent or inconsistent with your basic values. Now, one of the things we know about high-achieving men and women is that they're very clear about what it is they believe in. And one of the things that we know about underachievers and failures is that they're very vague about what it is they believe in. Because when you know what your values are, then it's quite easy for you to make the critical decisions in your life. But if you don't know what your values are, or if you've never taken the time to think them through, then you will toss with the wind, and you'll go whichever way the wind blows on almost any area of decision. Number 3, your goals must be in writing. You should describe them in clear, specific, vivid language, in every detail, as though you were ordering something to be manufactured for you on the other side of the country. Writing down your goals programs them into the subconscious mind. Now, I have arguments with people at my seminars all the time. They say, well, I don't need to write my goals because I know what they are. And this, to me, is the mark of the true loser. Because if you cannot write your goals down clearly and describe them, it means one of two things. Either you don't know what they are, or you are not committed to accomplishing them. I have found that many people fear failure, and because they fear failure, they never write the goals down, because then they can't be accused of having failed. So if you don't have your goals in writing, the very next thing you should do after listening to this tape is sit down, take a pad of paper, and write out everything that you want to accomplish in the next 3 to 5 years. Write it out as though you had no limitation at all. Many people have had the experience of sitting down on New Year's Eve and writing out their goals for the next year, and then putting the goals away for 12 months, and opening them up on December 31st, and finding that 80% of those goals have been accomplished. Just writing the goals down once programs them into the subconscious mind. Now, here's a suggestion which I give you, and it is worth the entire time that you spend listening to this course. It is to take and rewrite your major goals every single morning. Take and rewrite your major single goals every single morning. Just as though if you were traveling, you would take a look at your road map every single morning before you started out. Sit down and rewrite your major goals. Write them down briefly, and write them down as though they were already accomplished. I earn $30,000 a year. I weigh 175 pounds. I am an excellent salesperson, or whatever your goal or objective is. But write it out in the present tense as though it were already accomplished. And every time you write it down, you reprogram it into the subconscious mind. If you will do that for the next 30 days, you will make more progress in the next 30 days than you made in the last 6 months. You will be astonished. And the reason why this works is that every time you write it down, you increase the intensity of vibration going out of your mind into the world. And this law of attraction will then attract back into your life people and circumstances that will assist you to accomplish those goals. And as you write and rewrite the goals, you will find that your description of your major goals changes. And it changes and becomes sharper and clearer and more vivid. And sometimes the goals that you wrote down at the beginning of the month and the goals that you're now writing down at the end of the month will be completely different. But the goals at the end of the month will be the real goals, the really important goals in your life. 4th point in goal setting, you must have a major, definite purpose, one goal that is more important than any other. You can have many different goals, but you must have one goal, which is number one. And many people ask me this question. They say, Brian, well, can I have two major definite purposes? And the answer to that is no. There's a line in the Bible that says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And what it means is if you try to do two things at once, or you have two goals with equal priority, you will end up doing neither and doing neither of them very well. The way you choose your major definite purpose is once you've listed all your goals, you ask yourself, which is the one goal, the accomplishment of which would move me more rapidly toward the accomplishment of all my other goals than anyone on this list? Pick the one goal. Now, when we're younger, often our goals are financial. Sometimes they have to do with our careers. Sometimes they have to do with health or our relationships. But whichever goal would have the greatest positive impact on every other area of your life, set that as your major definite purpose. Now, it can be a 1-year major definite purpose. It can be a 10-year major definite purpose. But it must be your major definite purpose. So if somebody woke you up at 3 o'clock in the morning and said, what's your major definite purpose in life? You would wake up and be able to tell them without even thinking. The failure to select a major definite purpose and to make plans for its accomplishment leads to aimlessness and drift and unhappiness and confusion and low self-esteem. Remember, your major definite purpose must be measurable. You can have a variety of different goals, but your major definite purpose, your number one goal, must be measurable. You must be able to quantify it. There's a beautiful line that says, what gets measured gets done. And if you cannot measure your goal, then it is probably not an ideal goal for a major definite purpose. For instance, you could have a goal to be happy, but that couldn't be your major definite purpose. You could have a goal for weight loss, and that's a measurable goal. You can have a goal for income increase, and that is a measurable goal. So make sure your goals are measurable. Make sure your goals are challenging and believable and achievable. Make sure that your goals are just slightly beyond anything that you've done before so that it makes you stretch, especially your major definite purpose. But each of your goals should be something beyond anything you've accomplished. You see, it's goals that keep us out of the comfort zone. It's goals that stop us from getting into a rut. It's goals that guarantee that we continue to grow and expand our capacities in life. And finally, under number 4, you must know why you want to achieve your goal. How will you benefit personally? Why do you want it in the first place? You see, we found that if there's 1 or 2 reasons for achieving a goal, you'll have a little bit of motivation. If you have 5 or 10 reasons, you'll have more motivation. But if you have 50 reasons for achieving a particular goal, you'll have so much motivation that nothing will be able to stop you. Jim Rohn says it very well. He said people have no lack of goals. What they have is a lack of reasons. And we've seen this over and over again. Everybody wants to be rich, but if you ask, why do you want to be rich? Most people haven't the slightest idea. Most people say, if I was rich, I could quit working. Of course, which is why they never become rich. Okay, point number 5. If you don't have a major definite purpose, make it your number 1 goal to find your major definite purpose. If you look for it, you will find it. In the Bible, it says, seek and ye shall find. It doesn't say seek and occasionally you'll find something. It says seek and ye shall find. And many people start off without a major definite purpose. As a matter of fact, 95% of the population hasn't the slightest idea what the central purpose is of their lives. So if you start off and you don't have a major definite purpose, don't worry about it. It means that you're exactly the same as everybody else, but set it as your major goal to find it. And keep persisting, keep thinking, keep reflecting, keep reviewing what it is that you could be your major definite purpose, and I promise you, you will find it. And when you find it, it's like your whole life goes into overdrive. Make it the most important single goal of your life to find out what it is that you should be doing. Point number 6, make detailed plans to achieve your goals and break your plans down into monthly, weekly, and daily activities. Always define your goals in terms of the activities you will have to engage in to achieve them. Do something extra every day to move you towards your most important goals. Remember, daily progress boosts self-esteem and self-confidence. The true winning feeling comes from that sensation that we are making progress every single day toward accomplishing something that is important to us. Number 7, remember this, goal setting is the process of moving from where you are to where you want to be. It is simple, straightforward, and effective. The more you practice setting clear goals, the better you get. When you become an expert at setting goals and making plans, your success is assured. Look upon a goal as a blueprint. Now, even a master builder, the finest craftsman that you could find, with the finest materials and the finest piece of land in the city, could not build you a good home without a blueprint. But even an average craftsman, if he had a good enough plan, could build you an excellent home. So even if you are a brilliant human being, extremely intelligent, very capable and talented, without a goal, you will not be able to construct a great life. And as I said before, you will have to spend the rest of your life working for people who have clear, specific goals and clear blueprints for their